Hey, welcome back. Okay, so uh, this is where things get a little tenuous, and I was hoping maybe France could try to go up here, but because they took this island, they will start to go into South America. Uh, the game doesn't always go to historically accurate places, nor should they. I mean, that's what makes the game fun. Um, but they generally do. So I know I just contradicted myself there, but um, they generally try to. But I think they're going to go wherever they can in the beginning, which is, oh yeah, I'm going to take the 10 prestige there. Japan has a civil war. There's the Iberian wedding. So um, Castile just merged with Aragon. Aragon's no more. So they're now going to be Spain. So, or they should be. Oh, you know what? They should be in a personal union. That's what it is. And so then after the personal, yeah, they're a junior partner. So Aragon is now a part of Spain, and then if things go right, they'll diplomatically annex them. And of course, there's some noble rebels up there. That's their problem, not mine. And now I remember these guys aren't going to reinforce if I'm not spending any maintenance on them. So that's the reason why they're not reinforcing. And we got another war that's over. I can purchase an ability which will do me no good, but let's go ahead and do it. Our explorer is going nuts. He's exploring everything. We're actually running out of things to do. And yes, we're still losing money like crazy. And he finished his mission. And until we get a new technology or increase our range, he can't go anywhere. And one of the things we got to do is we just got to get a colony somewhere. All right, we gain 74 bucks if we do this. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And Castile's given us a royal marriage. We'll take it. We can embrace the new institution, which so far reduces our technology cost by half. I gotta do it. We're falling so far behind. And of course, we are in debt. We're losing money every round, and I'm going to get another loan. Just when things were looking good. And then we got another slave trade. Dang it. Where was that? I clicked too fast. Gaining a stability is awesome. Losing 50 ducats when you're constantly going into debt is not. I need to fire this guy. I also need to shut this off because I need equal points everywhere. It saves me $1. Like I said, if these colonies can just finish, we're fine. I'm losing $1 right now in interest. This one is getting there. We're only getting 75 a year. 70 a year, he's almost done. Holy cow, how many other colonies do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8. I have, oh, this one's one. And where's the last one? Oh, this is another one of those awesome islands right here. Where did I send the other one? I would swear it was this island, but apparently it's not. Well, here we got culture conversion going on. We have a colonist there, and here we go, 3 colonies. Costo, Calabar. So why is my maintenance 8? Colony maintenance 8. Where is the other colony that's costing me 2? So colonial maintenance 8. If we have more than 2 colonies and or colonists working on, the cost grows quadratically. So 2, 2, and then 4. So if I ever do more than 2 at a time, it's double the cost. No wonder I'm getting slammed. That's my own fault there. So I definitely need one of them to finish. And now here we get another merchant. And now we're starting to get it's getting a little interesting. Because with the merchants, obviously we have one here, but see how this one's here? We can actually start to funnel from South America to the Ivory Coast. And if we get enough power in the Ivory Coast, we can suck it all up. Or we can just stay here and take it all for ourselves. There's a lot of choices. Or we can take the Ivory Coast and actually funnel it not to Seville, but instead to the Caribbean. And if we take all the Caribbean and have all the power, we can do it. The problem is time is not on our side. So France and everybody else is going to be taking these places as well. It's not going to be as simple as just, oh gosh, we get to do whatever we want. Also, you got Cape of Good Hope, which also has, I mean, you can see that they're producing 0 because it's not developed. We have to develop. Seville is not a great location. I mean, if you look at just the English Channel, it's making 25 bucks because of just the local provinces and how good they are. Whereas we're, at $8. I mean, that's pathetic to be at $8. And we're stealing from 2.8 and 0.8. Now, the one that does go back to Seville, if we follow it, is the Caribbean again. So that, of course, represents Spain being there. And this one, of course, is an interesting one. So you can filter it to the Caribbean or to here. And then, of course, historically, we used to have Portugal occupied all of this. And then especially down here, all of this. And you can see that both of those, well, this one just feeds to La Plata, and then La Plata feeds up to here. So this one's a very important one if you go into South America. So there's 2 trade nodes in South America that all of the arrows go to one place, and that's here. And then the reason why I really love the Ivory Coast is look at all the trade nodes that go to the Ivory Coast. Now, granted, they can start putting merchants here and try to take it away, because you can see here 0.7 being taken away, 0.7. This is France. So France has taken away 0.7 now too. So France now has 29% from technology, burgers, and rush of merchants. Castile is down to that. And then we are at 29% for similar reasons. Okay. So we're all sort of equal, but I'm going to eventually take over, because once my colonists finish here, I'm going to start gaining power, and they won't. Unless, of course, they start colonizing. That's the key thing. And if I have all the power in the Ivory Coast, they can transfer their piddly, $2 or 70 cents out, which, as you can see, they're doing that in 3 places here. This one is going to the English Channel. So England must be here too. There they are, down there at 9%. So everybody's funneling away 50 cents, 50 cents. I'm getting 60 cents. I'm just taking it. Because Castile, That 50 cents, I'm actually getting a portion of it, but not all of it. Okay, so the problem is we're just constantly going into debt because I'm waiting for this colony to finish right here. And this one is going to be done very soon. And there we go. All right. So we finally got a self-sustaining colony here. And yes, we do want to convert it. Oh my gosh, it's going to cost money. We're going to wait. And finally, there's a positive $1.84. And what do we got? Advisors cost less. Loyalty plus 5%. Leaders cost less. Nobility, loyalties up, and influence. Administrative free policies plus 1. I think I like this one. The free policies part is what I can't remember. But if I remember correctly, that comes from where the little grid is. Where's that grid? Obviously, this is how we keep track of our cardinals. Bear with me. There's a grid here. Is it this? No. It's not there. Oh, come on. I just had it open. Yeah, I know it is. It is that grid. This one. So these are policies. So you can have like so many of these active once you add a policy. So for example, colonial expansion is going to happen because we have the expansion and the exploration. We took both of those. It makes more sense if you look at the ideas. So we took one from diplomatic expansion and one from here, and then they go together and they give you a combined bonus. Okay, that's what's happening with this. So this policy will become available once I finish both of them and get them fully developed. And then global settler increase will be 20, native uprising chance will be minus 50%, and then I can select a different option, right? And still have no native uprisings. I can only have a certain number of policies because you can see here 0 of 3. We have one free diplomatic policy slot, and that's it. And then one free military slot. So what this government reform is doing is we would get an additional administrative policy, not military, nothing else, but we get an administrative one. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that. And our clergy is upset with us. So let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, our national tax modifier is down. Oh. Yep. Spend more money. Damn it. Okay, we spent the money. We're going to be in serious trouble. I have so many loans. So we got a new military tech, which is good. Even if you don't build the buildings that they unlock, you're getting the bonus for battles. And obviously, I don't want to build another colony because of the stupid rule there, but the colony maintenance is now finally manageable. And I'll just lose the prestige. And we get yet another loan. We're in trouble. We are at 1500, so the new age should be coming. Hopefully it'll be us. I think it happens in December of 1500. Where did we go to see that? Where were we? There we go. Colonialism. Right there, we got all the green check marks, so it should appear in Lisboa. Boom, there it is. And see, when we get it, look at all the crap we get. We get 100 of each of the powers, we get 20 prestige, we get 25 government reform, and in any country that has not embraced colonialism gets that penalty that we were getting to their technology cost. And then we get a major colonial port until the end of the game where our local trade power is +5. So that was huge. And that, of course, goes here. And if we ever pay the 1,000, this would get upgraded. But yeah, we're now. Which port did get it? Oh, here. We learned our lesson. We can just click on this box. It's in Porto. So yeah, it appeared here in Porto. So we have it present already, and it'll just spread. And we're going to get it nice and quick. And you can see it's got a major colonial port. So we got a lot of trade power from it. And then, of course, our I know we're still hovering at 30%, but if I can ever get out of debt and get my money situation figured out, we're going to be able to buy some buildings and get our market power up big time. So somehow or another, we only have 4 loans. It must be, we must have needed to pay back a loan and then it got renewed. But this 4% is pretty high. It was originally at 3%. And of course, the new Pope. Construction costs are down. Obviously, I want to do missionary stuff. That's going to take up all my money for 111 turns. And yes, I can finally finish this one. So I'll go ahead and do that. And it does make I increased my global trade power by 10%. So that's good because that applies to everywhere. And boom, we just moved up to 5.18. And we are the second most powerful here. And then we got a new colony. So that's excellent. And so we're going to make it a core. Now, this other one didn't become a core, and if you don't know why, it's because we didn't make a state out of it yet. It's still territory. If we make a state out of it, you can see it's these 4 provinces, so I would have to get all 4 of them settled in order for the state to be worthwhile. What I'm doing here is this one. We're making a state, and you can see it's all of these provinces plus this one province that's Ashanti. You know, we can't control the fact that they are their own country. They could declare war on us, by the way, this Ashanti. That's sort of why I have some troops there. But if I build enough stuff here, a colony is going to start. And then when the colony happens, I no longer even control them. But that's the idea. And there's one more state here we can try to colonize. I am a little anxious to get started in the Caribbean or down here. But I haven't, you know, obviously I want to lock up Africa. So these little islands, like I said, they will get snagged. France already snagged the one that I told you was going to get snagged, and they're going to attempt and get these. And then we can, of course, change our policy. Oh, it's here. So that way we assimilate all the natives. Or get the +20. lowers our stability by 1. But I'll go ahead and do it. That hurts, I know, and then I'll just boost it right back up. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and go there. And this is very aggressive. So we need to move our troops to there. And I need to seriously consider raising army maintenance, which is super expensive. Jesus. Why is army maintenance so high? Reinforcements. So it will get cheaper. I'm going to gain the stability. Castile's at war with somebody who didn't ask me to join them. Oh, we just got 200 population there. Okay, so the new Age of Reformation started. Okay, let's... Aviero. The burghers would lose 15 loyalty. And we would actually get money out of the deal. Or the clergy loses loyalty and influence. Ugh, their influence is high. This causes the burghers to lose influence. They don't have much to begin with. I'll go ahead and do the mild reprimand. And then now we're stuck paying money again. I think it's once every 10 years. So I had to wait till 1510. Damn it. Yep, it didn't do anything for me. All right, so then this just means that a new decision, it's the same screen, but it's saying that if I have a ruler administrative skill of at least 3, I can pass the Blasphemy Act. Makes the missionary strength go up by 1, which is useful because now this 111 is now down to 24. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. And then this is saying religious conflicts have started. We have a new Age of Reformation. It's easier to look at it this way. So we now moved from discovery to Reformation. And it's my understanding that all the benefits from discovery are gone. We don't get any of those benefits anymore, like the extra colonists. And you can see here that the Persians, Poland, Mughal, and Spanish, they gain bonuses. And then we would possibly get some, let's see, prestige per development from missionary. It's okay. Institution spread. That's good. Powerful trade ships is really good, except we never built any. Mercenary discipline. War score. Blockade impact. Religion enforced. None of these are all that exciting. So pursuing these objectives is also not that exciting. So I'm going to just not worry about the Age of Reformation. And we have an extra merchant. That's right, because I forgot to place one. So we might as well, since I have an extra merchant, I'm going to at least transfer power and boost our local one as much as possible. You can see here, so they did an uprising. It's 5,000 to our 2,000. We did barely win, but we won. It helps when you're already in the province. Obviously, it helps when you're at full morale, which I don't even think I am because I couldn't afford to have full morale, and I still won. The higher tech level makes a big difference. The what was I going to say? Oh, the trade node here. Look at this. $3 is being transferred from Genoa because they have 27 power and Savoy. I think if you have trade ships like our 5 barks that we were using to kill pirates, you can do some pretty decent trade power with it. It's just I don't have any money. I mean, I need money to make ships. I need money to build our buildings. This is the problem with Portugal. And of course, I keep telling you I'm going to get more money, but I'm taking exploration. I'm taking, and then of course the colonies taking $2 each, as you know, is a big deal. So now we're at war with Morocco, Tugort, and Tlemcen, and Castile started this war. So we're in big trouble because I never paid off any of my debts yet, and I am going to need. Oh, my maintenance is full. Never mind. So that part's good. We could reduce maintenance on missionaries or even colonies. We could reduce it, but then the growth of settlers, as you can see, is 0, and here it's 35. And oh, by the way, you're only getting 25 a year now. It's awful. This one is only getting 25 because all those bonuses we were getting was because of that era, which is why I was trying my darndest to go as fast as I could. But see, look, it drops so much. So now this one, where you get plus 20, is actually quite attractive now. In fact, it's very attractive. Do I want to take another stability hit just to go to it? The assimilation isn't bad. Getting 2,500 or your taxes are going to be nicer because you have 2,500, population. I'll leave it be. I don't want the stability hit while I'm at war. And then, yeah, so I got these troops. I'm going to move them down to help. And then, of course, Spain already took the one area I wanted. So I'm not happy about that. But who knows? They might come back and retake it. Or maybe they won't. Spain right now is doing a lot of damage to them. I can't move any deeper until they take the province, which they did. And who are we at war with? We're at war with the whole African continent, it looks like. Jeez Louise. All right. So my goal is I just want to take territories. Because if whatever I take helps Spain and obviously it'll help Spain, and then of course that in turn helps us, and who knows, we might sometimes get territory, but Spain's going to take territory for itself when it does a peace deal. So unless we're negotiating a peace deal on our own, we aren't going to get anything. And this increases our settlers by 20. So that part I'm very happy about because that'll help our colonies grow quicker. And this one, our current heir will die, but we gain a church. Yeah, I'll gain the church. And now we have a new heir with the same exact name. That's really classy. Okay, so we're taking over a lot of stuff. I don't know what happened with our our missionary, but he just came home all of a sudden. Or maybe he did finish and I just didn't pay attention. So another slave producing spot. And we won a naval battle where we lost. Oh no. I think this was us. So we probably lost 3 of our barks. Yep. Nope. Yeah, we did. Right here. So we won the battle, but we lost some ships. That's not good. We did get another military upgrade. So as you can see, we get to upgrade our infantry again. So now they're reformed. So here you got the really high attack again. But this time, they do have 1 defense against morale. Or you can do the Landsknecht, which is really good. Or this is the Italian, which has some decent offense and defense. Um, I think I tend to like the Italian one. And as you can see, we're wrecking them up pretty good. Of course, I have a claim on 1 province, and that's the one I can't take. But the more I can, oh, there you go. See, they already accepted peace, and Morocco seceded 1 territory, and it was this one way down here. Why Castile wanted that territory, I have no idea. If we ever want to get territory for ourselves, we have to declare the war and then have Castile join us. Now this is an interesting one. 60 diplomatic power is never anything to sneeze at, but 2 mercantilism, that's actually hard to get. So I'm going to take that, and that just improved our trade capabilities, which likely, like, look, we just jumped to 33% because of that. So, oh, there's so much to do, and somehow or another we're losing. Oh, the natives uprose there, and I'm not going to get there in time. So what they did was they damaged the colony, and the natives don't really do anything, but these settlers were higher. So I was probably close to being done. And so what you need then is you need to have troops for every location that you're actually, like here you can see there's devastation. Oh, I'm having a challenging game. Let's put it that way. So here Castile wants to see my maps, and it would give us 10 prestige. Screw you. Find your own way. If they would have paid all my loans, then maybe I would have considered it, but... Alright, so we got naval ambitions. See, we're just shooting up the tech here. And you can see, if we have enough money, we could actually already switch to colonialism. I'm doing that again and get 2 more mercantile. Oh, this is horrible. So I either lose a stability or I lose 176, which is going to be a huge set of loans. Damn it. Two more loans. Massive amounts. Where the heck are you? There's no way that's Aragon. Dagbon. Let's click on this. There's no Dagbun anywhere. Oh, come on. That means that it's a different country. It's just we're not. So now it's like now we're playing Find the Flag. I'm going to decline. You actually might find it here. I don't see it there. Hey, we're getting, oh, fort maintenance. Let's mothball our forts. That should get us some money. Oh, and we can explore. So new stuff is available. Because we finished our colony. That's why. We have ports here now. All right, so they rose up, and we should be able to beat them back. Our main army, by the way, really needs more than one cannon. But they cost 30 each, and I'm so far in debt that I'm trying to, be a little... I've allowed myself to go in debt and not care, and now I'm really regretting it. But that's part of the challenge of this game. And then sure enough, now the natives are attacking over here. So what I really need to do is recruit some infantry and just put them in both places. Because now what hurts is this. Look at this. They're back down to 0. Anytime there's a plague, quarantine the port, or otherwise it spreads everywhere. Don't ever let them convince you not to quarantine. This is awesome, but remember I keep taking this, and it's going to cost me 60, and I'm going to get into another loan. I'm going to let them have the 10 influence. And see, now that I have the troops here, I'm going to beat back any native uprising, and they should grow. So the colonies will finally grow like they're supposed to. And you can see this is growing. We're already at 2.7, and that's because of my colonies. So what I can do now is I can actually, see, this costs 20 bucks. That's the thing that hurts. So I'm going to build 2 barks, though. And the other problem is pirates are going to show up. And I'm going to start getting pirates at these locations. And how are another... so frustrating. So I need to do a couple diplomatic things. Castile, we need to improve relation. France needs to improve. The Pope is completely occupied by Florence. That's funny. But we're going to go ahead and improve our relationship with the Pope. That never hurts when you're Catholic. Now, there was something else I wanted to do, though, and I can't remember. I started building ships. I know we have our colonists and colonies. Gosh darn it, I can't remember now. Because this is England attacking Ireland. Oh, local settler increase -30, -10, -15. So checking the colonies, it's still looking pretty good. We're still way ahead of everybody. That part's good. And now our explorer is going to do some damage here. So we're already in the Indian Ocean, but I'm going to keep going for South America. We're still only at $1.71. Hurting so much money-wise. And yeah, we have Native Uprising, but we put it down. Ended up having to renew a loan. Port maintenance is a lot less, which is good. Dagbon again. Who the heck is Dagbon? I've never had a situation where so our golden era just ended. That hurts. We're probably going to lose money now. Yeah, see, our inflation keeps going up by 10 cents. Oh, look at that. Because I'm well connected. We gained 100 population too. Okay, so right here, I can actually build something, which I don't want to do, of course, because I want to pay off my debts, but the workshop produces, like right now I'm producing 0.53 cents worth of wine. I'd be able to increase that by 25 cents. And this contributes towards the percentage of the trade node, right? So I'm at like 30%. Well, my percentage will go up if I'm producing more goods that are contributing to that node, okay? The church, as you can see, this is still a really nice bump of 26 cents every month. And I'm missing out on that because I haven't built this church in ages, right? But 26 cents a month, boom, that's really nice. And then, of course, this one is the almighty one to get extra points towards trade power. That's the big one. This is 22 points of trade power I get to add, and that would help me to overtake Spain. I haven't been able to do it because I haven't had money. And now you might be able to argue, well, maybe you should do this first, Jeff, and then you get the money. My argument, though, is look at how much I'm paying in interest, $1.57 in interest. That is by itself already a lot of money. And it's largely because these loans keep getting renewed. And then it's causing my inflation to go up. So I'm going to pay this one back. And so we still have 4 loans left. It's ridiculous. And then from an economy perspective, the inflation's up to 1.43%. And if I ever had enough, I could reduce it. But if it wasn't for the native uprisings, I would lower my army maintenance as well, just to get some quick money. And I think I might, once these colonies are done, I might just do that. So now you can see why it pays to take that one option where you don't have to worry about the natives ever uprising. Because look at how often it happens. Now, granted, I'm in some pretty wicked places. I mean, this is serious aggressive natives. And I also, you're seeing how easy it is to hold them back as long as you're willing to put 2 troops there. Okay, so here's what's next. I'm taking these, I'm merging them, and I'm going to set them on a mission to protect trade, and I'm going to do it right here in the Ivory Coast. And in doing so, our power should go up. And you can see I'm getting trade power from light ships, so I'm getting 6 power now from that. And I'm collecting from trade that's not my main city. That's my issue. So I'm losing 62% because I'm not forwarding it on to Seville. That's what's happening. That's why I'm only... So I will transfer trade power then. And so when I transfer trade power, boom, I just moved to the top of the power scale. And so 0.98 is going to go to Seville. So that, I think, was... so now I need to make sure that my power here goes up. And I'm only 10 away. Actually, I passed up Castile. I am now in the lead for power. So I'm getting $7, and you can see it's rising up. And if I can just get these natives to stop being so frisky. This one's going to take a long time. That one's almost done. And like I said, when a colony forms, they will be local. So their trade power does matter. And then what you can do is you can form, a trade guild, and that lets you stay there and retain control, and then you don't actually form a colony. All right, so we got a new tech. We made it all the way up to 10 on the military. So if we ever unlock another idea, we definitely want the military one. This one's actually moving up quite nicely as well. So our trade range just went up, along with our ability to build a shipyard, which again costs money we don't have. So we need money. Do we have an heir? I think we do. Yes, we do. Global settler increase plus 25 for 10 years. I'm taking that. Costs $100. This is a perfect one to take. That hurts. That's going to hurt. All right, I would like to get my my missionaries out. I mean, 29 months at 257 is going to cause me to lose money. So I lose 2% because it's a territory. So if I make it a state, I make it a core, I can even protect trade. I'm going to do that. Did I do that with this one? No, I didn't. We definitely want trade. So our power in that node just went up by a bunch. Yeah, look, we just went up to 93. And then this one, we can come here and obviously I would need the 50 diplomatic power, but I can add taxes or production. Production is really good in a colony because you want them to produce the exotic goods. And then obviously this one, local unrest is very good. The manpower thing is interesting because you definitely need manpower to, of course, recruit troops. But I don't like go out of my way for it. But having overall development is good as well. Like one thing we may want to do is you can see here, Lisboa is not yet at 30. In fact, it's actually quite weak in terms of development. And I think it's interesting because I think they, based on the board game, they actually had fires and stuff that devastated it, needed to be built up. But the population here, for example, well, there's the garrison, but the population is, where is the population? Like they're generating a mediocre, they're generating $1 in tax, which is good. But for example, so I put that up to 10. The manpower just went up big time. Okay, and then the trade power you can see here, and the trade value, 4.36, 47.4. So then, boom, I got that to go up. And this should make the taxes go up. So I went up to $1.21, $1.34, and I'm spending, of course, my power to do that. But that's maybe something I should have done a while ago to get my income to go up, because that $1.27 is going to shoot up to at least dollar. Yeah, there you go, $1.57. There's a new pope. There we go. We got a colony finished here. All right, so I need to not have native uprisings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one easy peasy colony. There. Steal that away from France and the other places. This one here, St. Helena, is another easy peasy one. Man, I'm at 54 minutes again. I'm just flying through the hours. See, it wasn't so long ago that I was spending 2 full videos just talking about the game and not actually hit and go. All right. National tax modifier, minus 15%, but I get 127 bucks. And the church would lose 10 loyalty. Or they gain 10, and then the nobles lose 10. There's no win there. Okay, so lots of stuff just happened. Explore. I could embrace, which would take up all my money. And then all that does is reduce my technology costs. Not worried about that at the moment. Don't have any technology money anyways. So instead, let's get one of these suckers paid off. Or two of them, in fact. One, two, paid off. So my interest of $1.24 should drop to 63, and that's good. All right, so we have proper culture. And see, and you can press these up. Obviously, you need to, and we can actually put a colonist on this, which would save us from exploring more, but I'm telling you, you do that later. Right now, you got to just take the provinces. Taking the provinces is the key. And what I don't understand is our missionary. What's going on? I thought maybe we did. So we'll do this one now, which is super cheap compared to before. And that's Portuguese, Portuguese. This one's still going. That's still going. All right, probably the best place to go is right here, change culture. You can see all the cultures that need to be changed. These are all the cores you need to do. You can even do development for all your territories all in one place. You can see all your... Remember, one of our objectives is to build a flagship. I wonder if it costs anything. We definitely don't want to build it there. We'd build it here. Yeah, it costs $100. We just don't have that yet. Ugh, need money. The colony route costs a lot of money to do, which is why I guess Spain went bankrupt, right? It costs a lot of money to do, and it does pay off, but you have to be very diligent about it. And it helps to be one of the bigger countries because then you make more money. Because like some people will tell you that England and France and them are real easy to play. And as you get good at the game, you don't want to play those countries anymore because they're too easy. It's partially true. I mean, the other part of it is that it basically, if you don't go into colonization, you're a fool because that extra money that you get is supposed to help you to do that. Natives lose 2 aggressiveness. Sure. I don't know who the heck Dagbon is. See, this time it's opening the Papal State. Still only getting $1.44. And see, look, they got uprising here. Some pretender rebels. And this is, we're getting 70 a year, which is good. Explore. So Pacific South America. Let's do Western Indian Ocean. Crusade against heretics in Africa. Okay, so this is going to give me claims on territory to attack. And I would gain 10 papal influence to attack those territories. I don't know where those are. So Anfa, for example. At least that one's coming up. So we're looking at Oh, that's Morocco. So this would be a big crusade against Morocco. Sure, I have no problem with that. And I'm not sharing provinces. So if I wanted to declare war on them, I can, and see Castile would join me. Let's go ahead and do that. And call Castile to join us. And we don't have to promise land. It'll cost me 10 favors. Yeah, I'm going to spend my favors. Make them join me. They don't get shit. So we have a crusade happening to us. Tax modifier, everything goes up because of the crusade. That's really funny. Siege of Tangiers is already over. I'm going to stop hunting hunting pirates, and instead protect my trade node for a while. See if that helps. And then these guys, going to move out, participate in the naval battle. And get that going. Is there any culture? Yes, there is. Oh, when you're at war, oh, we used to get free war taxes, but we don't anymore. Dang it. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. Let's get some extra money. Losing a tax base, that's not fun. So if you're wondering what these little golden numbers that are floating by are, that's because we're blockading the region and we're basically looting the provinces that are nearby. Okay, so diplomatic relations +1, that'll help even like with the peace negotiations. And then we got another merchant. Eventually, I want to move my merchants elsewhere, but putting them in, like, see, this is only 0.9. That stinks so bad. But putting them in places where I can transfer trade power is helpful. Good, naval supplies is good. So, so we're going to produce, or putting more here, and you can see our power keeps going up. We're up to 244 now. So we're starting to take a little bit of control here. And as soon as Fez falls, we're going to get some nice territory going. And we are at war with all of these people. So if I can get them to agree to a white peace, and they won't, that's the problem. Because I don't need that stuff. I don't want that stuff. I just want Morocco. And of course, we got our forts that aren't mothballs anymore, and we're actually getting money. That's what's funny. But I think it's because we're getting money from our blockades, taking money from them. And then the technology just went up. Oh, more military. I'll take it. So we now have a new cannon and a new knight, basically. So, or no, it's just a cannon. So you obviously want fire. They're both the same there. This is defensive shock, so it's good from a defensive perspective. Defends against cannons. I like the Pedrero, and of course, upgrading those. So what's going to happen though is my army is going to low its morale because of that, but finally. So now that we have it, we're going to be able to just wreak havoc on everything. So this guy, I think he's moving into here. So we won. So much stuff just happened there. And that's the problem with going on full speed. Okay, so now that we did that, let's come back and... Alright, so we just defeated him. He's running away, and if I know where he's running away to, and I can get there, I can completely wipe him out, but I don't think I can. That was another one of those complicated ones. Oh. Last thing I want to do is make a generous donation, but I got to get the tax modifier back up. Alright, so see, we're taking stuff now. And there's naval battles going on, which I'm not as excited about, because I don't want to lose my ships. We converted some heretics. Fine with that. It's actually going to save me some money. This is wasteland, so you can't even go into High Atlas. Interesting. Renewed a loan. So they're going and taking all this territory in these other regions. Yeah, I'm going to keep the war taxes going. Okay, now they just sent a buttload of troops to attack me because it's Temlinkin. So it'd be nice if I can get a white piece. And I can't. Largely because the war isn't very long. And their strength is higher because they actually just won that last battle. These guys won't either. Morocco, however, we do have. So they would cede Abda to us. But I don't want Abda, I want this one. And see, they won't give that to me yet. Tangiers, just too much, just a tad too much. If I would have won that last battle, I would have been fine, but I didn't. In fact, they stomped me. And you can see they're coming through with a big army now. And then, of course, Castile has a big army back here, so my explorer is gone. So I got a lot going on. I got to figure out where... Okay, those are 2 barks. Those are 2 bites. Okay, so I need to get an explorer again. Done. Mission. Go. We need to make a core. Done. We can do that. Done. This battle against Morocco is frustrating. So I'm sitting here regaining my morale. And of course, regaining my troops, which I'm at 0 manpower again. And they're taking back just about all the territories that we took from them. Now, Spain, of course, has taken stuff down south, which might be helpful. I'm going to go there. I'll probably get involved in a battle. This is my guy, Aragon. He's on our side. So there's 15,000 there. There was 20, there it is, 20,000 there. Why don't they just win? Dang it. There's 10,000 there. And of course, I'm sitting at 14,000 with no manpower. So I don't want to get involved in another fight. I would like more territories than just one, because this would be a really nice region to help me with my taxes and other problems. The problem I'm having is maybe I should go to Temklin and get them to drop out, right? Because I can like make separate peace agreements with them and then make Morocco isolated. So that is an option. And we did just finish exploring, so it looks like there's nothing left to explore. So I'm going to try to take some Temkin spots. I don't know where their capital is. If you right click on them, and it looks like it's Kazdir. And I think if you click on the region, it does tell you. I mean, so you, like, we're rumple stumping them, but look, there's 18,000 and 19,000 of their troops. So if I can get them to just quit, see, they're negotiating for themselves. So what if I, for example, what if I offer to pay them? Doesn't look like I can. Like, it would be really nice if you can get a white piece out of them. And so far, oh, here we go, pay. So if I offer, oh, see, they're at minus, they will not betray their ally for gold. All right, well, that's not going to happen then. And then what about Taggart down here? I'm not even at war with them. I thought I was. Nope, it looks like I'm just at war with 2 people. So I sort of want to avoid these big stacks of doom. And so I'm going to head this way. You can see Spain's right there, taking stuff down. So it's just so funny. I mean, oh. And then again, I lost. Let me look at something here. I'm at 7, 9, 10, and they're at 7, 8, 9. So my tech level is way higher than theirs, and they just thrashed me. Morocco accepted peace with Castile. Oh, that's not good. So I no longer have... All right. Clear offer. I want Tangier. They're not going to give it to me. They're not offering me anything. Not even Anfa anymore. Yeah, I'm screwed. because Castile chose to bail. They made a peace offer, even though yeah, this is not good. You can see I'm losing all these territories because I no longer have them. I'm at war with 2 countries and I have nobody helping me anymore because my allies left. Oh man. This is not good. So they want me to pay 42. I can take that. So I just paid 42 to them and then all's done. That just blows. All of that for nothing. I just wanted Tangier. And the crusade ends just like that. Just wanted... Oh, Castile, you are the most awful ally anybody could ever ask for. And then, yeah, now Tlemcen here is sending pirates after me. So I'm going to put these guys on hunt pirates. All right. Couple of things. Colonist has been available for a while now, which is part of the reason why I'm gaining money. But I want to do a few things. We're going to take down the forts. And since we're now at peace and we don't have to worry about being attacked for a while, I'm going to take the army maintenance all the way down to 0. So we're getting $7. I am probably going to get this colonist going just because it, like I said, it clogs up things. And actually, I just finished this one so quickly. Holy cow. All right, so this one is already ours with the naval supplies. So I want to go somewhere where they're not going to be aggressive, of course. And I think we may want to get our... here you can see France started the Caribbean. So I don't want to compete with France. And they're already in the West Bermuda Sea as well. So France is there, which is interesting. France is dominating the game, in fact. So what I want to do is let's just try to take one of these. So this has a 3 aggression. They're all pretty, but this one's a super low one with only 1 aggression. So I'm going to go ahead and go after that one. And so you can expel minority. This is interesting. I've never seen this feature before. By subjects of our culture and religion. The minority is not accepted. We own 1 eligible province for this. I'm not interested in that. We'll just send a colonist. And let's get our Brazil stuff going. So that does take $2 off, but we're at $9 here. And what I want to do is, by getting $9 a month, we're going to pay our crap back. And here we get another colonist. So now we're up to 3. So I got to do another one. And I can't remember which one of these I picked. There we go. Rio de Janeiro, actually. So we're going to go right next to them. And so here you can see we're getting $6 around. I'm still happy with that. Almost always take the development over prestige. Counter-Reformation. Okay. So this is, of course, if you're in good opinion, well, that's at least minus 50 with the Papal State. Interesting. So we would get 2 more missionaries. Technology cost goes up. We get papal influence every year. Missionary strength versus heretics goes up. I actually really like that. That's really good for colonization. And now we have 3 missionaries, so we can really do a lot of damage. And then, of course, the culture. You can see there's 2 culture changes we can do. So, very important thing. Your taxes get reduced by culture. That cessation of church functions is causing a 15% decrease everywhere in taxes. But then when it comes to like, oh, see, this culture is already ours. That's the reason. Let's go somewhere where the culture is not. This one. So here you can see the non-accepted culture is causing a 33% reduction in taxes. So that's awful. And so by changing the culture, which is what we're doing, we're going to increase our taxes by 33%. Now, these are all at level 1. So if you want the taxes to go up, you need them to go up. I mean, it could cost 72 power just to make this go up by 1. So this is where putting colonists here, see, I get a 41% chance of making this get better. That's what you need to do. That, or you wait for a colony to form, and then the colony will do it instead. So here I lose 2,000 sailors. That's fine. We're still getting $5 a pop, even though I have 3 colonies going. And I'm not interested in African alliances. I'll tell you what, if they wouldn't have taken that $44, Morocco would have creamed us, and we would have been done. Okay. We're at 110. I think we're going to pay off. No, we're not. We just paid off our final loan. So that is good. Looks like our king died. So now we got a new king that's not quite as good. This one is really good military, but poor everywhere else. And yeah. Our exploration is still going swimmingly. We still have our army maintenance down to really low. I would like to get some buildings purchased before I raise it back up, because we want to get our income up as much as possible. And in fact, I want to get Lisboa to 30. So I'm going to bump that up twice as well. So we finally have 2 level 30 provinces. We also need to embrace colonialism, which we haven't done yet. That's another problem. I need 175 for that. I'm okay with losing manpower to get a tax base. Totally okay with that. So there we go. We got the culture we desire. We can build a building, or we can embrace this. They're both important, but this 36 cents has been hounding me. We could have been earning that a long time ago, all these years that we've been playing this game. And the other thing is, I forgot to do, is we could go to this state down here. We have the local trade power thing. All provinces in a state must be owned and cored. So I can't do this because this one province belongs to the separatists, which is interesting. So I was hoping to do something there. And then these ones, I could do an edict on, for example, this is Madeira. They don't produce that much for me. So to do an edict, I mean, I am producing $1.28. I can make the trade power go up. I don't know if that helps. I mean, they are making sugar. The trade power is 3.6. It's a little bit. And then these, I don't have all the provinces in the state. Looks like the Canaries and Tenerife, both owned by France. So somehow France took this from Spain. Interesting. Oh, Spain, you suck. So I really only have 2 states that I truly control, and I've already done as much as I can with those. Keep exploring. Congo is getting rocked by somebody. Ndongo. And is that really Castile? Yes, it is. Told you they'd be coming. So Spain's coming down. And then France, as you know, see they're taking this. I know this is Cuba, so what is this? This is like Haiti? Jamaica? Turks and Caicos. Jamaica's here. And I think these are the Grand Caymans over here. All right, so we did that. Now, from here on out, it's low bonuses, right? Still worth it, but it's lower. And then here, this is like huge. So I'm going to build that for some power. And look, I mean, I jumped up to 5.63. The taxation is almost $10. So I'm trying to move back. So we're still moving up 5 a pop. The trade is still lower than the taxation. But if you play this game right, your trade is going to be way higher than your taxation. If you're a colonizing country like we are. Now, if you're Austria, your taxation is going to be your primary production or primary source of money. Okay, so this is the final one. Global trade power plus 20%. That is huge. And then we now unlocked a new policy. The reason we unlocked a new policy is because we fully completed both of these. And so now you come here, and I don't remember which one it is. This one. I guess it doesn't matter which one you open. But okay, so global settlers is going to be plus 20, native uprising minus 50%. So I'm no longer going to have to worry about native uprising. And so it fills in the right spot for us. So that bonus is in place. And you normally only get one bonus from that area. So, for example, this was a diplomatic policy. You get one for free. Everything after that you have to pay a maintenance on. And like I said, I get 2 of these for free because I took that one bonus. So how do you get more? Obviously, you have to get more ideas. And so whenever we grab our next set of ideas, that'll be the next policy. The only thing that I sort of wish, like, was there an easy way to see which ones are which, right? That might be what you're wondering. I'm wondering the same thing. So this, of course, being a diplomatic policy, how did we know that that was a diplomatic policy? Versus an administrative one. The first one was diplomatic, the second one was administrative. So how did the two together become a diplomatic policy? That's a good question. I think there might be an answer in the wiki, but I don't have that answer. At least not off the top of my head. Or even if maybe at some point in time I actually knew the answer, but it's not like it's that crucial. But it does help with planning. All right, so I finished that, and now I'm going to try to build the other big mega one in Porto. And so if we come here now and look, I'm all the way up to 263.4 in power. And so I'm getting $9 in trade. So look, my trade just jumped up a crap ton just for finishing that one marketplace. And I'm going to finish another one now because we're going to, we get incoming 7.54, and that's my 3 merchants, right? One of my merchants all my merchants are funneling money to this place. And let me see here. Oh, I always hate these ones. Everybody, like, this is lose 20 loyalty to the nobility. Then there's no way to get the loyalty back. Except for that option. So one of the things I want to do with the trade is see, like, this one's 2.9. I'm moving 2.05 over. Here, 2.27 is being moved over, and there's 0.8 left. So you can see it's 2.95 total. Here it's 3.53 total. $2 is not an awful lot. But what I'm starting to do is, you can see here, there's 51 cents. Because if my colonies start to come here, I'm going to start, like, we're already at 27% of the total power. And we're moving 29 cents without even having somebody there. Now, granted, the whole thing is only $1, but as I start to colonize the area, see all these little natural harbors, I can increase my power. And then what you really want to do, and you only have so much time in the day, right? But for example, here, that's a monthly production income of 0.03. It produces 0.2 goods. So if I increase this to a 5, I'm going to improve upon the goods. It's slavery. It's only worth $2. But you see here, the trade power is 13.6. The trade value is 2.9. I'm producing 1.45. So watch when I push this up. I just moved the value up quite a bit, and the goods produced went up quite a bit. And then, of course, this is going to improve taxes, which is relatively low. Taxes, of course, is based on population, which there isn't much of. And then, of course, the manpower isn't quite as helpful. It does help with manpower growth. I can move my main trading post to here. So let's say I did that. Then I'm saying that the Ivory Coast is where my main trading post is. And then Seville is no longer important to me. What's important is to collect all my money from this node. This node, at the moment, is really only getting $2.63. It's not that important yet. It should be getting more. This is $3.27 right there. Oh, Portugal increases the outgoing value by 7.7%. Interesting. So 2.63 local, 2.2 comes in, $3 goes out. So that's an interesting situation. I could create this trading company. Local trade power goes to 100%. My taxes go to 0. I can't do missionary work anymore. Basically, it just becomes the West African Charter. The West African Charter can boost the amount of goods produced by 1.2%. It's an interesting idea. You have to sort of play with it, and I honestly and truly don't know which is better. It's one of those expansion pack things that after it came out, it's like, I mean, it's interesting, but I mean, you'd have to sit down and really think about and maybe wiki, because I'm sure somebody figured out when is it better to have a trade charter versus having your own provinces. I am one of those camps that I like my own provinces, but that's because the base game rewarded that. And this whole trade charter thing is new. And so you have to like figure out when is that beneficial to you and when is it not. So one of the things I need to check, yeah, see our inflation is 2.43. So I'm going to spend 75 to reduce it. And that should help with our income. And you can see our trade money is now up to $10.94. And we just finished another colony. That's this one right here. And the devastation is high, but hopefully this will improve over time. And now, oh, we got a mission fulfilled. We went westward. So morale of navies, travel time, and trade power goes up. And okay. We never conquered Tangiers, which is the one place that we wanted to get. We can try to build a flagship, which we haven't done yet, but it is one of our goals. Intervening in Castile is not going to be easy because they've been our friends the whole time. This, of course, we need 10 colonies in Brazil. So what I want to do is I want to keep going. And so the next thing you want to do is you want to take the Cape. Because, let me show you. This is another trade node, and it collects everything from the East Indies and from India, which is going to become extremely valuable at some point in the game. And the Cape has the natural harbor, and it doesn't even have aggressive natives. So the Cape is definitely what you want to take. Otherwise, the AI will take it, and of course use it to hop around. Now, this is where I distinctly remember creating a trade charter down here was valuable. And you don't need culture or religion to be yours, because if culture and religion is yours, it increases your taxes. And remember, trade charters reduce your taxes by 100%. So, all right, so we can build, and there's so many things. Like, first of all, these manufactories, they seem like they're low numbers, but this is producing This is improving your production. Um, so these are really good. It's just more of a long-term play. We talked about the workshop, which also helps. And like this here is actually quite large. The production is something that towards the end of the game is the most powerful thing in the game. In the beginning of the game, it's the weakest because you don't have manufactories or technology to help you. The church, of course, in the beginning of the game is big because your taxes, of course, are what you're relying on. But I'm showing you right now how to make the marketplace become something. So 3.4 is not nearly as good as 11, but it's still very good. So, and it only costs 75. And what I just built actually is down here. I'm building it in this location, and you can see I'm building the marketplace. So it's actually producing a marketplace that will improve my trade power here. So that's an interesting situation. And obviously, if we wanted to produce more things, we need to improve with our diplomatic power, which I don't have. It's not the most readily available resource. And then even here, this natural harbor, for 160, I can increase it. And what it'll do is it'll increase my trade power from the 5% that it is now to level 2, which I think is 10%. I can't quite remember, but I think it is. And here you can see it's tropical wood. Cost is $2. And so forth. And I can build another one. So now barracks helps with manpower, which is important to put in your highest manpower place. So like Lisboa is contributing the highest manpower. A barracks wouldn't hurt because an extra 1250 is very good. Now be careful because you only have so many places to build. The dock does the same thing but with sailors. And again, Lisboa is coming up at the top. So I'd be filling up all the Lisboa slots, right? A shipyard, again, Lisboa. Now this +2 means that's how much production towards building ships. So Lisboa is going to build ships quicker than anywhere else. You can see there that the naval force limit is +2, and then the shipbuilding time will be minus 25%. Actually, I think this is the force limit bonus. I don't quite remember. Anyways, not important. The big reason you build a shipyard is because it reduces shipbuilding time, and of course, it allows you to build more ships, especially when you're a small country like Portugal. And then, of course, plus 50% trade power is huge. And then when this finally comes out, the government courthouse is very good because you can reduce your state maintenance, which I'm getting a 200% state maintenance penalty. So I'm going to be able to reduce that by 25%. That's a big deal. And the monthly autonomy change is also good. So 350 is nothing to sneeze at. And then these, of course, are down here, Cape Coast. And you can see the green number here. So this is 350 and this is 310. It's actually improving the power down here, which isn't awful, but I'm not producing that much in terms of value yet. It's only producing $3. So, but I do have the power, and as everything else starts filtering through it, with me having all the power, it's going to be very helpful. Because you can see here, it spins off, and it goes to where France is and Bordeaux, and it also goes to the English Channel. So the Ivory Coast can help France, England, or Spain. And this is a huge battleground from a merchant perspective. And the way you win that battleground is you have the provinces in Africa that contribute to the power. And you can see I'm clearly winning here with 3.71. I don't think anybody else is even trying, although France is here. They don't seem to be doing anything. Okay, so I'm at an hour 44. It's super late at night, and I am going to have to call this quits. So gonna have to hit the save game, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough so far. To finish this game, there's hours and hours and hours left. Um, I don't know how many. I couldn't possibly tell you, but I'm thinking with me talking while I'm playing, another 8 hours, maybe even more. Because I'm doing hour-long videos, and I feel like I'm not very far. So maybe even 10 to 12 hours more. So very epic campaign. If I have time, I will try to continue this. I'm actually having fun with this one. It's challenging but satisfying at the same time. So I hope that helped. Uh, remember, try Castile. Remember, when you're Castile, you won't be able to use Portugal as a shield, but make sure you befriend France ASAP if you're Castile. Don't worry about England. Befriend France. That's your friend, just like Castile was my friend as I was Portugal, right? Do the same thing with France. You'll be good because if you have an ally with France, they will have massive armies to help you out. Um, the Iberian wedding is a little tricky sometimes because sometimes it doesn't happen, and then you're forced to militarily take over Aragon. Um, don't be afraid to do that. It's just the Iberian wedding is so much easier. Uh, and remember, the Iberian wedding, you have to have a female and they have to have a male ruler. So if you get Isabel as your female ruler, then chances are really high you're going to have the Iberian wedding. If you continually have male rulers, then forget about it. Um, it is possible to get it early, and it would be nice to get it early. Um, just understand your tech level needs to get to level 10 before you can turn into Spain. So even if you get it at tech level 5 and 6, which is very possible, um, your tech level has to go all the way up to level 10 before you can actually make Spain. And that same thing is true for Prussia, for Germany, for Russia, and even Great Britain. Because once you take over Scotland, um, then you can form Great Britain, but not until you're administrative level 10. Okay? Great Britain is going to be the toughest start you'll ever have. And only Constantinople is tougher, as far as I'm concerned. There's probably a few more. I'm sure a few of you can think of some. But as far as a major nation goes, it's the toughest start. Um, but as long as you, in your mind, are okay with losing your French territory, if you're okay with that, then it's not so bad, and you will recover, and you will do great. Now, obviously, you're going to have this temptation to hold on to that French territory, and if that's the case, then you need to figure out a way to make France your friend. France is all that matters in that case. Don't worry about Burgundy. Don't worry about anybody else. If you can somehow make France your friend, you can hold on to that territory and then just kick Burgundy out. Burgundy. In about 2/3 of the game, Burgundy will have a secession crisis and not have an heir. And it's scripted in the game. And when that happens, Austria or Spain will take over all their territories. It's quite glorious when it happens. It benefits Austria so much more than Spain, but it does happen. And then Naples is a uh, junior partner of Aragon, and then when you have the Iberian wedding, you end up getting all of Naples as part of Spain as well. So Spain can actually get pretty big. Holland, the Netherlands, stay away from that area. Just don't even try to take those territories. The Netherlands will have revolt after revolt after revolt. They are pesky little people. Um, they want to form their own country, and the game is going to push you and push you until it happens. So you're better off just letting them go and letting some other country have those territories, and then they can deal with all the revolts. Um, Scotland. As England, it's very difficult to take over Scotland because France guarantees Scotland. Okay, so if you declare war on Scotland, then France joins the war. and it's extremely difficult to defeat Scotland because France just lands troops there. Now, if you have your navy set up really well, you can maybe prevent that, but it's hard. Okay. One of the tricks you used to be able to do is Scotland will become friends with somebody in Ireland. So declare on that friend war on the friend in Ireland and see if Scotland joins. And then if Scotland joins, you leave the Ireland province alone and you just go all out against Scotland. Because when Scotland joins a war like that, France won't help them. And so then you can just obliterate Scotland and take as much territory as you want. And one of the things you can do the first time you conquer Scotland is you can force them to, never mind. No, you can't. I was going to say you can force them to break all their treaties with France, but it's really France that's guaranteeing Scotland. So you'd have to win against France to make France stop. There are cheat codes. You can cheat to force a country to lose a war. So you can't do that in Iron Man mode, which is the mode I just played. If you did do it, I mean, sometimes it's like, you know, France declares war on you and you don't want to lose the war. You've just played to how many number of hours. It is the perfect cheat code, right? Because you can force them to lose the battle and you can maybe even take a few territories from them if you want. But the big thing is you can make them back off and leave you alone. And what's really cool if you use cheat codes is you can make them basically break all their treaties and agreements they have with everybody else. That's, I think, the most fun. But you can play around with it, see what works for you. Um, just be careful. I mean, I found that when I cheat in this game, I have less fun. Uh, and I don't mind cheating on stuff. You can also give yourself the PowerPoints, the diplomacy, um, administrative, and whatnot. And I apologize, I quit the video so early that you're just looking at a blank screen here. But um, when you cheat on the diplomacy pieces, um, or the power pieces, just understand it only goes up to 999. So if you give yourself like 10,000 administrative power, it will give you 10,000 and it'll say 10,000. But then the very moment you spend your first administrative power on anything, it'll drop to 999. It won't let you keep whatever was left over. So that's just something to understand. It's not going to let you uh, go bonkers with your power. And then what you have to do is you have to cheat again and again and again to get it to happen. Um, Russia is very cool from the perspective that it plays so totally different than everybody else. But with Russia, you have to worry about Lithuania all the time, or Poland. Um, and then, believe it or not, the Ottoman Empire is your largest threat in Russia. Uh, you have the Golden Horde, you have a lot of the Mongol empires that are left behind, and then you have like the Timurids. Um, most of them are pushovers and not too big of a deal, but Lithuania is a threat, big time. And then the Ottoman Empire is your largest threat of all. And the Ottoman Empire will march troops into Russia in the winter and win. So don't let Napoleon's folly make you feel confident. They will do it, and they have no problem doing it. And then on top of that, they um, Russia will. I'm sorry, the Ottoman Empire. They will come at you with stacks of 100,000 troops, more than one. So they'll have two stacks of 100,000 troops each. So and then of course it doesn't happen right away, but the Ottomans here, um, they just get so powerful. Between them and France, those are the two powerhouses that you need to always kiss the butt of. Now, as Russia, you don't get to kiss Ottomans' butt; they don't like you. But what happens is they'll start guaranteeing like Nogai and Uzbek and stuff like that. Or sometimes, uh, Crimea here actually wants to be your friend, mostly. Georgia, there's a few friends down in here, and it's usually the ones that share your religion. Okay, uh, but Ottomans will come through, and it's largely because you're in a war with somebody else, and then they just sort of join that war to support them. It's just the Ottomans, for whatever reason, want to destroy you. Lithuania is very powerful in the beginning, but they do start to fragment, and so you just have to weather that storm. Sweden will kick your butt if you ignore them. But in the beginning of the game, they have no power. They're completely under Denmark, and Denmark will declare war on you once you take over Novgorod. Denmark does not like you, and what you can do is things like form an alliance with England. The other thing with Russia, it's really hard to get royal marriages going because nobody is in your religion besides you. Everybody else got defeated. Um, Poland becomes powerful. Lithuania starts to die off. This Livonian order doesn't care for you at all, so don't feel bad if they get destroyed. The Teutonic Order, again, doesn't care for you. So every now and then, these little countries over here will start to annoy you. But for the most part, your biggest threat is the Ottomans. And it's never a direct threat. Like you very rarely expand down into the Ottoman region. You're busy taking out territory over here, but they will always get their nose into it. The hardest challenge in my mind of any Western, or I wanted to say modern, country is Byzantium, which is Constantinople. It's near impossible. I don't know how to win without cheating. Um, you do start with some territories here, and then Greece or Athens is your vassal. So you even have a vassal. Um, and then I think even Rhodes, the Knights, and Naxos. Let's see. Nope, just Athens. But the problem with Constantinople is you have the Ottomans on the left and the right, and they just have more than you, period. And how can you defend against that? So they come in with a 3-star general, and even if you have a 3-star, because you're only 3 provinces with one vassal, you can only afford an army of size 13,000. They'll come in with 25,000, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I have seen people win. I think there's some YouTube videos where people take on the challenge. It's worth watching. Um, I can never win, and I think that it requires a massive amount of luck. But like I said, you could cheat, and when you cheat, you can just force them to lose, and it gets a little fun then because you can like bring back, you know, the empire. Um, but obviously, you had to cheat to do it. Now, one thing that always surprised me is the Mamluks are a big empire here. Look at all the territory they have, but they're not good. Um, it's actually really hard to play as them, and it's really hard to expand. Um, but it is an interesting one because you do have one of the largest, at least territory-wise, one of the largest regions, and and you do have Muslim Technology Group, which is not, backwards. It's definitely slower than Europe, but the Ottomans, of course, have Anatolian Technology Group, which means that they're basically almost as good as the Europeans. So you see how they got their own little technology group that's separate from the Muslim ones. Um, so those tend to be a tad bit better than trying to be the Mamluks. I mean, you're basically halfway between Western Empire and just being, some barbarian tribe. That's the problem with the Mamluks. The India ones is the same deal. I mean, you're basically now a barbarian tribe, and these are just crazy, cray. All these provinces. You basically form alliances, declare war. No one's going to bother with you. You're never going to interact with Europe very often, unless you take all of India. And good luck if this is very difficult to do. But it can be a nice, like I said, it's 100 games in one, right? So this is an interesting play, is to try to, and I recommend Vijaya Nagar more than anything. Um, Obviously, the Bahmanis are going to be difficult, and they do have a vassal, but um, it's a challenge. And now, when the Europeans come, they're going to come um, nowhere. In fact, see, it's completely occupied by tribes, so you would have to be invaded. Now, where they do go is right here, this little set of islands here, and then I want to say that there should be, well, right here is one island, Hawaii. There's a couple here that you end up taking. Um, so remember, this is all about having ports so you can hop. So when you get to the Cape of Good Hope, the next hop is either this set of islands here or these two islands here. Then you want to hop to this island or this one, the Cocos, or even this one, Christmas Island. And remember, these aren't going to be high value provinces. The whole point is just to have a port. So if you're hopping this way, what you're doing is you're going for Australia, which there are a few spots on the western side, but of course the juicy parts are on the southeast. Um, the other reason to hop here is there's a lot of territories that you can take in the East Indies, and they're all super valuable. You got a bunch up here, which of course you got to worry because these two will attack you. You have all these islands here, and then of course you even have this is a lot less than you think, but Papua does have a bunch as well. It's completely uninhabited. Now this Majafit will attack you, but they're not a problem. Um, so you can see you can go all the way up into here, and basically go into the Philippines, which is also largely uninhabited. So and then you can even get to what is that? That's Taiwan. Um, that's Okinawa, right? Yeah. And then anyways, you can you get the idea. And you can make it all the way to Japan. You're not going to make it onto Japan, but you'll make it to Japan. And then the same with China. You're going to get to China, but not on China. Now, as far as India goes, I would swear there was one more island here up this way, but I guess not. That must be these, the Nicobar and Andamans. Um, so here's the deal: you get near these areas that are considered rich, like India. The East Indies, you actually get. So in terms of like easy money, these are the easy money spots. These ones. Trying to get into China and actually do like what Hong Kong is, for Britain, or to get into India is not easy. Now, the one advantage you have is you'll be able to declare war on heathens, and these are all considered heathens or pagans or whatever, and your technology level is going to be way better. So you should be able to just make a landing somewhere and really just stake your claim. Uh, you still get aggression penalties for taking a lot of territory. Although sometimes if it's pagans, it's not as much, especially if you're a Catholic nation, because the Pope, sort of like has a blind eye to it, because I guess he's okay with it. Um, there's a lot of money to be made if you start taking these territories. Um, but that's a serious investment of time. And you also have Europe to worry about, and you're over here with all your troops trying to take over this region. It's really hard. Britain, of course, is the most prepared for it because since they control an island, France and them don't invade Britain. And so you can actually afford to bring your troops over here and try to make a dent. China will be very powerful. If you play as China, you will be very powerful. They do have a backward technology group, but and they have a ton of tributary states that you're gonna get money from. You'll make money hand over fist in China. The biggest problem is you're not very developed and your technology will go up extremely slow. So that's the problem with China, but you won't have a problem with developing your armies or your at least being able to afford them. Um, who do you attack with China? That's a bigger question. I don't have an answer for you. Uh, I've never really played China very seriously. I think what you want to do is go into Korea and these in the north direction more than you want to try to go into the south. This is just a big cluster bomb down here. Japan, uh, good luck. It there's so much. This is just like the actual games that you play, like Samurai Warrior or whatever. Nobunaga's Ambition. The very moment you attack one territory, somebody else is attacking you. So you have to form your alliances. There's a lot of diplomacy and patience and a bit of luck to win as Japan. Can you unite Japan? It's going to take you the whole game to do it. But I bet it's pretty satisfying once you do. I've never done it. The Pacific. So I'm going to just show you real quick. It's completely uncolonized. Samoan Islands, etc. There's Hawaii, of course. So those are all places that you can stop and really gain some territory. Hawaii is not as friendly as you would think. I don't think they were friendly even to the Americans all that much. For as Brazil goes, there's going to be spots along the way that you can take them. There's going to be violent spots as well. You can get a lot of that in, and then some of these spots here you can take on this side of the mountains. The natives, of course, eventually are going to be a problem. And then if you're playing as Britain, North America is your oyster. You can take as much as you'd like. I think the challenge I always have is I get so invested in North America, I forget to go after India and the other places, which are just as important. And remember how I told you about you want to be able to to hop. So as Britain, I want to take this island. I want to spend one colonist on hopping. So one colonist will go here. Then another colonist will go here or here. Another colonist will take Cape. And I might even take 3 of these, just because this is a nice region. I'll take Cape, and then after that, I go after these islands, and then this one, and then I keep going. One colonist the entire time. The other colonists, of course, are doing North America. So I'm pounding North America with all I got, but I am sending one not for the purposes of controlling the trade nodes, but for the purposes of having the island hops. Now, once you do that, then you do want to put your merchants in the different trade nodes, and you can even create like a couple of charters or whatever. There's going to be spots in Africa that won't be. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. That won't be taken, but Britain is fun. It's probably the most fun I have playing this game. Taking all of America is going to take you forever. If you unite 5 of these in a row, they will form a colony. So you're going to get frustrated because you finally are getting some revenue going, and then they form a colony, and now you're not. You're just collecting tariffs from them. Newfoundland, this area right here, is where you want to land, because with Britain, you have an issue of distance, right? And so unless you can take this island down here that I showed you that France took, your only bet is to come across this way. And these are your islands you're going to land in. If you could somehow take Norway, up here. That helps because then you can hop to this and then hop to Greenland and then down, but that's not very easy to do. There is this Bermuda here. Don't forget about Bermuda. It's a very nice hidden little gem that you can hop to. But if you get to here, don't be afraid to at least put a hop spot, in Brazil, or I'm sorry, over here towards Colombia and northern South America. As for the rest of America, like when you start going inbound, um, a lot of that is going to be done by the colonies and not by you. Your exploration is you're going to be able to just hop. So here's the deal. If you hop and only have one or two provinces in each area, it'll always be yours. If you start to put 5 or 6 of them in a row, they will form a colony, and then that colony will be loyal to you, but at the same time, you lose all the revenue and you're only getting um, tariffs. You do get some trade power. Um, we haven't done a colony yet, or you haven't seen one yet, so it's really hard to describe. And then, of course, up here, um, California is very peaceful and easy to take. It's actually fun to get here. And believe it or not, Spain and some of the AI will get there long before you. I don't know how they get there, but they always end up in California, Spain in particular. And Alaska is really tough. Now, as Russia, like I said, you're going to get colonists, and you're going to spend colonists to go all the way through all this. Some of this is wasteland, but these are all territories. You're going to go all the way, of course, to the Pacific Ocean. And along the way, Uzbek will annoy you, and so is this Oirat. And you likely will end up going to war with both and probably having to conquer both in order to make them go away. Um, so then you'll get all this territory down into here. Just be careful with aggressive expansion. And then this is sometimes how you end up getting the Ottomans coming after you. Kazan and the Great Horde and Nogai are all your victims. And if you think about traditional Russia, that does go all the way down there. So you do want to eliminate all of them, but again, Ottomans will protect. All right, that's enough. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome and healthy and safe.